Hello all, welcome to Talent Sprint. Today in this free live session, we are going to discuss some questions, Java related questions, which are typically asked in AMCAT examination. So let me just start with our first topic, which is variables and data types. So let me just share my screen with you. So here is our first question. So the way we will work is that I'm going to show you a question, and then I'm going to give you a tip. Based on the tip, you should be able to answer the question. So I'm going to display the question again after displaying the tip, and I will give you one more chance to answer the question based on the tip. And then finally, I will show you the answer of the question. So here is our first question. Can you all see it? Just try to answer this question. So I see few people live here, Subramanyam and Anshul and Manoj. A very good hello to you all. Can anyone you try to answer the first question? Okay, I see Pramod also. Okay, I have some good number of people joining. Afroz is here. Hello to Afroz. So, as I told you guys that we are going to discuss some Java coding output related questions that are asked in AMCAT programming section. So, in the first topic, variables and data types, I have put up a first question. So, can any one of you try to answer the first question, which is on your screen? So, Anshul, Manoj, so any of you guys, do you have an answer to this particular question, which is on your screen? Can you see the question on the screen? Okay, so let me give you a tip to answer this particular question. Hello. Okay, I see Subhadeep Goswami and Afroz saying hello. Hello to you guys. So all of you, can you see the question on your screen? And if you can you please guess the answer, whether it should be an A or option A or option B or option C or option D? Okay, so let me just show you. Okay, so I see Pramod writing yes, so I think you can see the screen. So I've displayed the question here. Now let me just show you the tip that can be used, that you can use to solve this particular question. Okay, so I'm going to the next screen. So here's the tip. It's a rule for an identifiers. Identifiers are then like variable. So I'm going to display the question again. If someone using the tip has figured out the answer. So can anyone of you figure out the answer? I'm just waiting. So can you tell me can you write the option number in the comment? Akash says yes, I think he has. Okay, Ankit says option D, none of this. Okay. Do I have any more answers from you guys? Come on, guys. This is the first and one of the most easy questions that I could pick up from the AMCAT. Okay, so I'm going to give the answer of this question. So the answer of this question is C, which is compiler is going to display an error. Okay, so if you see over here, this declaration of the variable a, which says int plus plus a, this declaration is not right. Okay, so as you saw, the rule of an identifier is that the variable has to start with an alphabet. Okay, so since the variable name is starting with a plus sign, so hence this is not a right declaration, and hence the answer will be option number C, where it says compiler displays an error. It will display an error because the variable declaration here is not valid. So this was the first question. So now let's just move on to the next question. I hope the explanation for the question number 1, the answer explanation was clear to you. So I'm moving on to the next question. Question number 2. I would request you guys to have a look at this question carefully and try to answer the question. If you're not able to answer the question, I'm going to show you a tip. Read the tip carefully and then try to answer the question again. Okay? So let's go to the next question. Okay, so here is question number 2. So can anyone guess the answer of this particular question? Will it be option A, B, C, or D? I would really love to have some answers from you guys, because there is no negative marking. This is just a practice that we are doing. So I really hope that you guys would actually make a wild guess if you even don't know the answer. Someone? So Pramod has given an answer C. Akash has also given the answer C. So Arun is also saying C. Okay, so for the other guys who have still not been able to figure out, I'm going to show you the tip for this particular question. So the tip says that if you divide an integer with another integer and store it in an integer variable, then the decimal part of the result is trimmed off. Okay, I think we have someone new joining, Tejas. Hi, Tejas. Just see the question again. So the others who have not given the answer, if after reading the tip, if you have figured out some answer for this question, just try. So now Pramod says D. Okay. Akash still says C. So Subhadeep says C. Okay. So let me just show you the answers quickly. So the answer is C. Now let me just give an explanation of this. So over here we are printing variable 2, and variable 4. So now let's see what is variable 2 and variable 4. Variable 2 is variable 1 by 4. Now variable 1 is actually a double variable. So basically over here we are dividing a double by an integer, which is 4. Double divided by an integer will give a double answer. So when we divide variable 1, which is 5 plus 1, 6, by 4, the answer will be 1.5. So variable 2 will print 1.5. Now let's go to variable 4. Variable 4 is an integer type, and it is variable 3 divided by 4. But now here, variable 3 is an integer type, and the value over here is 5 plus 1, which is equals to 6. So when we calculate variable 4, it will be an integer variable, integer type 6 divided by integer type 4. So an integer divided by integer, though the answer will be like 6 by 4 equals to 1.5, but this time, since this is an integer type and this is also an integer type, so this 0.5 will be trimmed off and only 1 will be shown in the print statement. So here, this way, for variable 2, 1.5 is printed, and for variable 4, 1 is printed. So this is the way it works. So I hope you learned something new with this particular concept. So now I'm going to move to the next question, which is also based on the same concept. Let's have a look at the next question. Yeah, so this is my next question. Just have a look at this question and try to give the answer. Okay, Ankit says C, compilation error at line 3. Okay. Anyone else who has an answer for this? So I see Akash was really in a good hurry to go to the next question. So here is the next question, Akash, in front of you. Can you try to solve this and give an answer? Arun says C, compilation fails. Okay. So I have two answers. Okay, so Ankit says because we are storing the value in int. So Saurabh says B. He says 10 and 7. Okay. Rosa also says B. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm going to show you the tip. Okay. So very interesting tip over here. And just read the tip and just evaluate your understanding about this question again. So here's the tip. So here's the tip that I have given. I hope it will give you some idea of how to solve this particular question. I'm going to show you the question again. Now that I have shown you the tip, I'm going to show you the question again. Now I would request you all to use the tip and again relook at this question and try to give the answer. Anyone who has given the answer before, would you want to change the option? Pramod says B. Okay. Arun says C, compilation error. Question 3, answer B. Pramod, okay, Pramod, I got your answer, right? Rohan says C, Arun says A. Roja says A. Okay. Okay, Sai Sri Lakshmi says A. Okay, guys, so let me just give you the right answer. So the right answer is A. It will display 8 and 7. Now let me give you an explanation why this is the answer. So as I told in the tip, that when you put a zero, when you put a zero, when you put this zero in front of an integer literal, it is treated as an octal number. So now this 010 is not a decimal number 10, it is actually an octal number with a base 8. So if you convert, I hope you already know the conversion between one number base to the another number base. So let's suppose we have a binary base, which is a base 2. We are able to convert it into decimals, right? So here we have base 8. So when you actually convert 010 into base 8, an octal number, this is equivalent to 8. And the next integer 07 in octal is equivalent to 7. Hence, when you will actually print I and j, the answer that will be printed is 8 and 7. Okay, so I really hope you understood that the concept over here, that when you put a 0 in front of an integer, that integer literal is treated as an octal number and not as a decimal number. So this is what the concept behind this particular question is. So it's a very small concept that it is an octal number, and if you know this particular concept, you can solve this question very easily. Okay, so now I will move on to the next question. Yes, Pramod, I see that you've given a right answer after seeing the tip. So now let's look at the next question and answer it. So here's question number 4. So guys, this is another program. Have a look at it and try to guess the answer. So there's one more person joining us, Rakesh. No problem, you're late. We are on question number 4. Oh, there is Ali Zafar. Okay. So guys, you have joined late. So we are actually dealing with the Java coding output related questions that are asked in AMCAT. And we have done 3 questions already. So we are on question number 4. So try to see this particular question and try to answer. Give me an answer. The option in the comment. In the comment, write the option that you think is correct, A, B, C, or D. So Pramod says question 4, answer is B, false. Okay. Roja also says B. Arun Pratap Singh says A. Okay, I have Paulomi who says A. Chaitanya who says B. Santosh Reddy says D. D is an exception is thrown at error at runtime. Okay, so Santosh has a different answer from the other group. Okay, guys, so let me just show you the tip for this particular question. Okay, so let's have a look at the tip. Okay, so let's have a look at the tip. Now I'm going to display the question to you again. So I've shown you the tip and I'm displaying the question again. So now based on what you have learned in the tip, use that tip and try to relook at this question again and try to give me an answer again. Ankit says C. Okay, compilation fails. Anyone else who wants to take to solve it? Okay, Azra Amreen says C. Rakesh says B. Okay, so Pramod says that he thinks the answer is C after seeing the tip. Okay. Okay, guys, so let me just show the answer. Arun also says C. Yeah, let me just show the answer. And Pramod, you really learned from the tip. The answer is actually C. So let me just give an explanation why the answer is C. So just let's look at this particular statement. This particular statement. Here, x is of type int, and we are trying to put it in a boolean variable type. Okay, and this is not allowed. Okay, this is not allowed. So if you see only this particular expression where it says x is equals to y is of type double, and x is of type int. So when you say x is equals to y, this is also wrong. If you have to say it correctly, you will have to do an explicit typecasting using a cast. So for this particular expression, the right way to write it is x is equals to int of y. So this way, y will be converted to int and then stored in the integer variable int. Okay, but in no case you can store an integer variable into a boolean variable. Okay, so that is where the compilation error will occur. Okay, so I really hope that the concept is clear to you. And now I'm going to move to our next question. Yeah, so this is our next question, question number 5. Have a look at this question and try to answer the right option. So guys, okay, I have the first answer from Chaitanya, D. Okay. Chaitanya says D. Okay, I've got one answer. So buck up guys, we already have one answer. I am expecting some more answers. Santosh Reddy says D. Okay. Okay, Sai Sri Lakshmi says C. Long. Okay. I'm really glad that I'm actually seeing some people answering. Good. Some more, please. Rohan also says D. Rakesh says D. Okay, so let me just give the tip. So here's the tip. So just read the tip. Okay, so I've showed you the tip, and now I'm displaying the question again. So if you want to take another guess, so Manish says C, so as in long. Ankit says C. Azra Amreen says A. Okay, guys, so let me just give you the answer. The answer for this question, most of the people have guessed is correct, is answer D. So now let me just show you why the answer is D. So if you see this expression, in this expression, we have two variables, x and y. X initially over here is of type byte, but it has been typecasted to long over here. Okay. So one of the variable x is now of data type long. Now let's look at the another variable which is y. Okay. Now y over here is of type double. So in this expression, we have two variables and one of them is double. And double data type is wider than long data type. So the entire expression, this entire expression which has a double and a long, this entire expression will convert into a double data type because double is wider than long. So that is why the answer for this will be D, double. Okay, I hope you learned the concept over here. So I'm going to, so these 5 questions that we saw were from the topic variables and data types. Okay, so I really hope you learned some concepts behind variables and data types, and it will help you answer some AMCAT questions. Now we are going to move to the next topic, which is operators. So the next question that I'm going to throw to you is from the topic operators, and just have a look at the question and try to answer the right option. Okay, so here's the next question. So here's the first question from the topic operators. Question number 6. Okay, so for this next question, Rosa has answered A, Pramod has answered A, Rohan, I trust me, everyone says A. Okay, so for the others who have not yet answered, I'm going to show you the tip. So here is the tip. But then I see that almost everyone is able to answer the question without seeing the tip. I'm really happy to see that. So I'm going to display the question again. If someone else wants to take a guess once more. Okay, so almost everyone has answered the option A, 10. And I'm very happy to say that the answer is indeed 10. So it is pretty simple, right? So in if condition, we see this. There are two conditions over here, okay, which are separated by an and operator. So here is the and operator. So here the first condition, A is less than B. So value of A is 20 and B is 10. So this first condition is actually false. So the flow will not go into the next line. It will actually go to the line which is outside the if loop, if construct. So it is going to print the value of B over here, which is equals to 10. So the correct answer is 10. So I'm really glad that you guys were able to answer this question without really having to look into the tip. So I'm quickly going to move to our next question for operators. So here it is. Okay, so let's have a look at this new question. And let me just tell you, this one may not be that very Simple. Guys, try to look. Oh, there are only 2 lines of code written over here, but then you will have to think a lot before answering this question. Okay, so follow me has said A as an option. I really hope you are follow me that you are answering the question number 7 and not the question number 6. Roja says A. Okay. Chetali says B. Okay. Okay. Tejesh says A and Rakesh says C. Okay. Ankit says 42. Option B. Okay. Sri Lakshmi says C, 38. Okay, guys, so let me just give you the tip for this particular question. Just read the tip very carefully. Because let me just tell you that most of you have answered wrong. So read the tip carefully and just try to relook the question after reading the tip. So here's the tip. So there are 2 tips here. The first tip is about evaluation of expression, and the second tip you have already got the tip in the previous question, but it's displayed again. Rakesh wants to change the answer to A. Okay. So I've shown you the tip. Now I'm going to show you the question again. Now, based on what you have learned in the tip, try to relook this question again. So Jitendra says, sorry again, it's A. Okay, so Jitendra has changed his answer to A, 38.5. Okay. Anyone else who wants to take a go? I think this question is proving to be too tough. Even after tip, I just have, okay, Polomi has answer B. Jitendra has 38.85. Yeah, Jitendra, you have already said that, 38.5. Okay, so let me just show you the answer to this question, which you will be most surprised is not 38.5, but 38. Oh, Roja now guessed it's 38. So let me just show you, just hear this carefully, okay? So here we have 2 concepts. One is of evaluating the expression. So in a Java, expression is evaluated from left to right. That's the first thing. And second is about the precedence of operations, right? So when you see this particular expression, just this particular expression, okay, where it says J into K plus plus, right? This particular expression, here J, which is 7, will actually be multiplied by the value of K. So here we have K plus plus, but the way K plus plus, the double plus increment, post increment operator works is that it is first going to evaluate the variable and then only it assigns the new value. So here the value of K for evaluation will be used as 11 and not 12. So this goes like this. Okay, so value evaluated is 11 and not 12. And then this becomes 77. Then this is further divided by 2. So this comes to be 38.5, right? 38.5. But Now, if you look at this entire expression, all the variables are integer type. So since we are dividing and multiplying integer type variables, the decimal part will be moved off and only 38 will be left as the answer. So that is why this print statement is going to print only 38. Okay, so C 38 is the answer of this particular question. So as I said that it has a lot of concepts, the concept of evaluation expression, the concept of precedence, and then how double plus post increment operator will work, and then finally the typecasting where the decimal part is trimmed off from an integer result. So I hope you learned few good concepts over here, and now I'm going to quickly move to our next question. So here's question number 8. So here is question number 8. Have a look at this particular question and try to come up with the option, right option. So again, this question has to deal with operator precedence, at which operator is having higher precedence than the other. Come on guys, which is simple maths. I really hope you have a pen and paper beside you because you have to do some maths over here. Or maybe you can use your mobile calculator. Okay, so I see a few of the guys answering the previous question, question number 7. So we have moved on to question number 8. Okay, and I've given the explanation for question number 7 already. So for question number 8, our current question, I have some answers. Okay, great. So I have Ankit saying option A. Okay, and Arun saying option C, and Paulavi saying option B. Okay, so 3 of you have given. Okay, so Jagpati Babu says B again. Pramod says A, deferred by 80. Okay. Okay, I see that you guys are doing your maths. Good, good. Okay, Arun Pratap has changed the answer from C to B. Okay. So let me just give the tip for this particular question. Okay, let me just show you the tip. So here's the tip. And now that I've displayed the tip, I'm going to display the question again, and you guys can try to relook at the question based on what you have learned from the tip. Okay, so after showing the tip, I have first answer. Santosh Reddy says A. I think Arun also says B. Okay. Jitendra K says B. Okay. Let me wait for a few more answers. Okay. Okay, Arun Pratap says that was for the seventh one. Okay, okay. Let's concentrate on current question, which is question number 8. Arun. Okay, so I have Rakesh saying A. Okay, for question number 8, option A. Jitendra says differ by 80. A. Okay, so let me just give the answer to this particular question, guys. So answer for this question is A. Okay, now let me just show you how it is. So let's evaluate the first expression. So the way evaluation will happen is from left to right. So the first thing that will happen is x is 40 into y is 35. Then it is divided by z, which is 20. This entire expression here, the multiplication and division has same precedence. Therefore, first multiplication will be calculated. It doesn't really make a difference. So this expression will be calculated because it has higher precedence than a minus sign. Okay. So this expression will be equal to 70, and then this will be subtracted from w, which is 10. So the answer for this expression, the first expression, will be 60. This will be equal to 60. Okay, so 60 is the answer for first expression. Now let me just clear and show the evaluation of second expression. Now in second expression, we have over here a bracket, right? So bracket is always evaluated first, right? So z minus w will be equal to 10, right? That will be evaluated first, right? Bracket will have a higher precedence than multiplication and division. So now we have, what we are left with is 40 into 35 divided by z minus w, which is equals to 10. Now the answer for this will be 140, right? Yeah, 140. So the earlier the answer was 60 and now the answer is 140. So the difference is 80, and that is why the correct answer is A, which is 80. So I really hope you learned about the precedence, the way it works from this particular question. Now I'm going to move to our next question. So here's the next question. Have a look at this question. So again, this question is based upon how the post increment and pre increment operator, the plus plus operator, works. Let me see if I can get some answers for this question. Seems a little tough, but I'm hoping that some people will be able to crack it. And remember, guys, you usually in a AMCAT exam, you will have at max 1 minute to solve such question. So you will have to be very precise and fast. So I have the first answer from Palomi. She says A. Okay. Let me just wait for some other answers also. Okay, so Azra Abid says D, Jitendra says A, Roja says C. Okay. So I have quite a few people giving quite different answers. Rakesh says C is the answer. Pramod also says C is the answer. Okay, so you guys have got this processed. So Azra is now changing her answer from D to C. Okay. Okay, so let me just show you the tip. And tip is not much. It just tells about how the pre-increment plus plus I, which is called as pre-increment operator, and then I plus plus, which is called as post-increment, how these two will work. Just see the tip. Now that you have seen the tip, I'm going to display the question again. And if some people want to relook the question now, based on what you have learned from the tip. Ankit now says C, 5, 6, 7, 16. Okay. Any more answers? Jagpati also is saying C. Okay. Okay, guys. So let me just show you the answer. So answer is C. So I think after reading the tip, a lot of you guys have been able to answer it. The answer is C. Now let me just show you how the answer is C. So let's see. So initial value of I is equals to 5. Okay. Now the first statement says print I plus plus. Now what we see is I plus plus is going to evaluate the expression, evaluate the variable first and then increment it. So over here, it will print 5 because that is how the print will evaluate I. The value of the evaluation is going to happen first. So the print statement will print 5. But also, since there is a plus plus increment operator, the value of I will actually become 6. So the print statement will print 5 because it will evaluate I first, and I initially is equals to 5. So it will print 5, but then in the same statement, the value of I will become 6. So in the first line, the value that will be printed will be 5, but at the same time, the value of I will then now become 6. Now let's come to the next line. Okay. Now we know that the value of I has already become 6. From the first print statement, the value of I has become 6. So now when we are simply printing I, it is going to print 6. Okay. So these are the first two statements which will print 5 and 6. Okay. Now let's come to third statement, which is this plus plus I. So as we say that the pre-increment operator is going to increment first and evaluate later. So now I value is 6. It is going to increment the value first, make it 7, and then the print statement is going to evaluate the value of I. So I value has already become 7. So the third line will actually print 7. Right? So this is the logic behind printing 7 by the third line. Now let's come to the final line, which is the most complicated one. As you see, there are a lot of plus signs in it. So let's see how this last line is evaluated and printed. So now the value of I is already 7. Okay. So if you see this particular expression, right? So the first operand over here is plus plus I. Okay. So this actually is equal to plus plus I. Okay. So here value of I becomes 8. Okay. And then this is added with I plus plus. Right. Now the value of I has become 8 already. So 8 plus 8, and this will become 16. So hence the last print statement will run 16. So now if you look at the options over here, right? So you really do not need to evaluate this last line. So if you see the options correctly, if you evaluate only the first, second, and third line, there is only one option which is having the correct answer, 5, 6, 7. All the other options are not having this particular option. So you really do not go and evaluate this. It's just from the point of view of solving the question in the AMCAT exam. You do not have to spend time evaluating this fourth statement, because if you see the option, once you evaluate the first three statements, which are much more easier than evaluating the fourth statement. If you evaluate the first three statements, you are going to get the correct answer there itself. Okay, so this is where you save time. So you see the options, you do only the processing of the first three statements, and you can see the options and say, okay, option C is really correct, and I now do not need to waste my time evaluating the last statement, the fourth print statement. Okay, so this is one of the tricks that you have to use while giving the AMCAT examination, because in AMCAT you are going to have very less time to solve this particular question. So I hope the concept is clear, and I hope the trick to solve these kinds of question is clear. Okay, so we are going to quickly move to our next question. Okay, so before going to the next question, let me just tell you that we have covered almost 4 questions from operators, and that's what I had from operators for this particular session. So these are the 4 questions from operators. I really hope that you have learned something about operators and something about solving the questions based on operators, which will come in your AMCAT examination. So in the next part, I'm going to explain the questions of classes and objects. Okay, so in the next question that you're going to see will belong to the topic classes and objects. So here comes the next question, the question number 10 for the topic classes and objects. So have a look at this particular question. It's a big piece of code, and try to guess the answer. It's on the topic classes and objects. The first question from this particular topic. It's a huge piece of code. And again, you have just 1 minute. Do I have an answer from someone? So I have the first answer. Arun says C. Jitendra says C. Okay. Okay, guys. I think some of you are answering the previous question, question number 9, but we are now on question number 10. So while answering, just put the question number that you are answering for, so that I will be able to understand which question you are answering. Okay. Just say question 10, option C. That will be great if you will do that. So Chaitanya has answered that the option is B, compilation error due to line 1. Okay. So A, prints 37. That's what Jagapati has answered. Okay. Let me just see if I have some more option. Okay. The Pramod says answer is C, option C. Okay. Rakesh says A. Okay. Okay, guys. So since this is the first question from objects, classes and objects, I'm going to give you much more tips. So I'm going to show you the tip. Before showing the tip, I just want you to have an attention here. If you see this is an abstract class. My class is actually an abstract class. Okay, so just make a note of this point, and now let me just display to you the tip. So here's the tip. So here's the tip. And now that I've shown this small, very small tip to you, I'm going to show you the question again. So Chaitali says the answer for 10th is C. Azra says the answer is C. Okay. Okay, I think you people are learning something over here. I showed the tip and now, okay, after showing the tip, Ankit says answer is A. So Jitendra is talking something about parameters. So Jitendra says answer A. Chaitanya says option C. Okay, guys, so let me just show you the correct answer for this. And the correct answer is option C, the compilation error. Right, this is pretty easy. If you know, if you see from the tip that I have given that abstract classes cannot be instantiated. So when you see that tip, the first thing that you process is that my class is a abstract class. That was line 1 says, right? It's an abstract class that is declared. The declaration is correct. Therefore, the option cannot be B, which says compilation error will happen at line 1. No, the compilation error will not happen at line 1 because this declaration is correct. Okay, now let's look at line 2. Okay, over here we are instantiating an object of my class, which is a abstract class. And as the tip said, you cannot instantiate an abstract class. So here at line 2, the program will throw a compilation error. See? So the answer is C, which is compilation error due to line C. So now if you see, guys, so just if you understand this particular question, it's a pretty long code. It is a pretty long code to analyze. But if you know that one particular concept about abstract classes, that it cannot be instantiated, then you have your answers in just looking at the two lines, line 1 and line 2. Line 1 says that the class is declared as abstract, and line 2 says that the class is there's an instantiation of a variable happening for the same class, right? So even the code is very big, but you have to figure out very quickly. You need to know the concept of abstract classes, and you have to figure out very quickly that this is why there will be a compilation error in the program. So if you know that particular one concept, you will not have to spend a lot of time reading the entire code. Rather, you can actually guess it within 10 seconds. Just by seeing in 10 seconds, you can actually guess the entire code, and you can guess the right answer. So this is one of the tricks that I want to tell you, that if you know these small concepts, you really may not have to look at the entire code, and the answer will come out very quickly, and you will save time, and you can use that time in your other questions. So this is what I wanted to stress on with this particular question. So I hope the concept is clear and you learned something good. Now we are going to move to our next question. Okay, guys, so we are now moving to the next question. This is next question, question number 10. Okay, so here's the next question, question number 11. So I just request you to write the question number while you're answering. Write the question number of the question and then write the option. That will help. That will help in clearing out which question you are answering. Okay, I think Jitendra is still commenting about question number 10, but we have moved on to question number 11. Okay, can I have some answers for question number 11? Again, it's a big piece of code, but again, the trick is the same. There is something wrong over here. So as I just say the right answer, the option, Ankit says C. I think I've given a big hint. So Ankit has a comment about Jitendra. Okay, guys, let's leave the comment on each other. Let's just focus on the question. We are all here to learn. Okay, so let me just show you the tip. Let me just show the tip over here. So this is the tip. I think most of you have answered before I have given the tip. So I've displayed the tip. Now I'm displaying the question again. Now just trying to relook at this particular question. Those who have not answered, just from what you have learned from the tip, just try to relook and just see if you can get. Chetali says C, Rakesh says A. Okay. Okay, guys. So let me just quickly give you an answer to this question. So the correct answer for this question is C, compilation error. And let me just explain this, how this is a compilation error. It's pretty easy. Just have a look at this method declaration. The name of the method is display. Here also, the name of the method is display. Now, if we see the arguments of both the method, both the arguments are having same data types. Argument number one over here is int. Here also argument number one is int. Argument number two over here is double. Here also the argument number two is double. So if you are having a same method name, which is actually method overloading, right? If you have the same method name, you cannot have the same arguments with those particular two methods. So this is why this is going to throw a compilation error. Okay. So this is the reason. So now over here, if you see in the method declaration, the return type is for the first method is void, and the return type for the second method is double. But it does not depend on the return type. It actually depends on the data types of the arguments. So data type of the arguments have to be different if you have the same method name in case of method overloading. Okay. So this is the reason why this answer is, this will show a compilation error, and this answer is C for this particular question. So I really hope you understood the concept over here behind this particular question. So again, as I said, that it may look like a lengthy code, but if you know the concept of method overloading and what are the basic parameters, but the factors that are associated with that particular method overloading concept, then you can very easily say that the answer is a compilation error. So let me just quickly move to my next question. Question number 12. Okay, so let's move to question number 12. Just see this particular question. So can I have the answer for question number 12 from you guys? Okay, so I have varying answer. Jitendra says A, Rohan says D, Ajay says B, Santosh says C. Okay, so let me just give. Okay, I have Jakapati saying C. It doesn't compile. Okay, so let me just say show you the tip for this particular question. So I've displayed the tip and now I'm displaying the question again. So those of you who have not yet answered, just try to relive the question from what you have learned from the tip. Azra says answer 9. Okay. I'm waiting for a few more of you guys to answer. Okay, so I'm going to show the answer to this question. Can't string return string to int method type. Okay, so 12C. Chaitali has an answer 12C. Okay, so let me just quickly show the answer of this question. And yes, it has been guessed correctly by many of you. The answer is C. Does not compile. Okay. So let me just explain how this is the answer. It's pretty simple. If you see over here in this method, the return type is having a string. Okay. But in the declaration, the return type is declared as int, and this is not allowed, right? Since the method, in the declaration of the method, we have specified int as the return type. So when we are actually returning, the data type of this entire thing has to be int only. It cannot have any string in it, right? So this is the reason why the program will throw a compilation error. It will not compile and it will throw an error. Okay, so I really hope that this was clear. It was a pretty simple question if you understand that particular concept, right? So let me just move on to my next question, which is going to be the last question for topic class as an object. So here's the next question. This is question number 13, and it's a really simple one. Okay, if you have a very basic understanding of classes and object, you should be able to answer this particular question. From the language, it looks a bit twisted, but it's pretty simple question. So guys, just give me the answer for this question number 13. Okay, so I have the answers. Chaitanya says C, Rakesh says A, Raja says C, Pramod says 13 is B, 3 objects and 2 reference variables. Okay. Okay, so I have 4 or 5 answers over here. Now let me just show you the tip for this particular question. So Ajay also says Ajay has an answer A. So let me just show you the tip for this particular question. I have a lot of answers. So here's a tip. It's a pretty obvious tip, right? If you know anything bit about variables objects and classes, you will definitely know this particular tip. Now, once that I have shown the tip, I'm going to display the question again, and you guys can have a go again based on the tip. If you would like to change your answer, or if someone wants to give the answer, okay. Aniruddha Tiwari says A, okay. Jagpati says A, Jitin says D, okay. Okay guys, let me show you the answer for this particular question. The answer for this particular question is A. And now let me just explain how the answer is A. It's a pretty simple thing. So here, if you look at the first line, we are not using new keyword and we are simply declaring the reference variables. Okay, reference to data type, reference to the type employee. Okay, we are creating two references, employee EMP1 and EMP2. Now coming to the second line, okay, we are instantiating EMP1 by using new keyword, right? So we have now, from the first two lines, we have two reference variables, EMP1 and EMP2, and we have one object, which is EMP1. Now in the third line, we are creating a new reference variable, EMP3, and at the same time instantiating it using new. So now from the first line we have two reference variable, and now EMP3 is another reference variable, so we have total three reference variables. Okay, and since we have used only two times the new object, new keyword, so we have two objects, right? So this is why the option is A, that we have two objects and three reference variables. So this is the explanation for this particular question. So with this particular question, we have now covered 4 questions from the topic classes and objects, and these were the 4 questions that I had for this particular session for classes and object topics. So now I'm going to move to the next topic, which is control statements, which basically means if statements, loop for loops, and switch case programming constructs. So the next questions that you are going to see are based on the control statements in Java. So here is the next question that you should try to answer. Let me just move on. So here's the next question, question number 14 for the topic. The first question for the topic, control statements. This is based on for loop programming construct. So have a look at this particular question and try to answer this question. Question number 14. So once again, I will request everyone that you write the question number while giving the answer. So if you think the option is D, so write say 14D, so that I will know that what is the question that you're answering for. Okay, so I have the first answer. Okay, Chaitanya is answering for question number 13. So Chaitanya, are you answering for 13 or 14? Santosh is also answering for question number 13. So we are on question number 14. So guys, please answer for question number 14. So Anirudh says B, but I'm not clear if it is for question 13 or question 14. So Anirudh says question number 14 B. Okay. Hiten says question number 14 A. Chaitanya says A. Rakesh says 14 is D. None of these. Okay. Chaitanya again says 14A. Okay. So I have few answers from here. Answers from some guys. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the tip. I think there's not much to show in this than the tip over here for this question. It's pretty simple. For loop construct is used to iterate over a piece of code. It's a very pretty simple tip. If you have done any amount of programming in C, C++, or Java, you must be knowing this particular part. So I'm displaying the question again. Okay. So you guys can take a guess. Jagpati says 14 is B. Azra Amreen says 14th is A. Pramod says 14th is A. Okay, so I'm going to show the answer to this particular question. So Roja says B, 14th is B. So I'm going to show the answer here. So the answer is A. Okay, so here we simply have to read this particular code snippet like a computer will read it, right? That's as simple as that. Okay, like you think like a computer. So in this for statement, I start from 0 to 10. Okay, so it will run for 10 times. That's pretty clear. Now here we are initializing, declaring as well as initializing a variable a with value 99, and then we say a plus plus. So 99 will become a plus plus means 100, and then this line will print 100, right? Now when the loop will start again, okay, when the loop will start again the value of a is assigned as 99. So now a is not 100. Basically, again over here, the value of a has become 99. So again over here, it will become 100. So this will print 100. Okay. Now the loop will go again. Okay. Once the loop goes up again, now again the value of a becomes 99, then 100 in the next statement. So it will print 100. This will happen for 10 times, and that is why the answer is A, that it is going to print 100 for 10 times. So this is how it is going to print for 10 times 100. Okay, that is why the answer is option number A, that this is going to print 100 for 10 times, because we are again and again within the loop, we are reassigning the value of A as 99. Okay, that is why the value of A is being assigned as 99 at all the times in every iteration. That is why it is only going to print 100 in every iteration. Okay, it will not print anything different. So I hope this concept was clear to you. And I'm quickly moving to our next question for control statements. Yeah, so here is the question number 15. Okay. Try to read this particular question and answer it. Question number 15. Okay, so I see that one of you guys, Ajay, has asked a question. So Ajay, this is there's a descriptive answer for the question. So what I request you is that you put the question number that you have asked the question for. Okay. Okay, so there's some discussion going on for the previous question, question number 14. So guys, in comments, we will not be able to discuss any question subjectively. We can only discuss in options. Okay, so I will answer to your comments. I will try to answer to your comments when we are done with this particular class. Okay, so whatever comments you have, I'm going to answer for those particular comments later on. But right now, just move on to the next question, question number 15, and try to answer this particular question. So I have few answers already for question number 15. Tim says B odd. Chitali says B. Jagpati says A. Compilation fails. So Anirudh says B. Chaitanya says B. Okay. I have answers coming for this question from quite a number of guys. Cool. Yeah, so Ajay, I see that you have asked for question number 14. I will actually reply in the comment itself once the class is done. So you may get the reply in a day or two. Okay. Right now, just look at the question number 15. So I'm going to show the tip for this particular question, and that should be able to help you solve this particular question. Okay, just very carefully have a look at the tip. Okay, so now that I have displayed the tip, I'm going to show you the question again. And now I would suggest that you relook the question based on what you have learned from the tip. Okay, so Santosh says 15th answer is A. After the tip is being displayed, Rakesh says B. Okay. Okay, so let me just quickly show the answer. Okay, Ajay is saying thanks. Okay, Ajay, thanks. You're welcome. I'm going to give the answer to you later in the comments. You'll get the answer in 1 or 2 days. So right now, I'm going to display the answer for question number 15. And the correct answer is A, compilation fails. Now let me just quickly explain why the answer is A. It's pretty simple, as I showed you in this tip, right? So if you see the statement here, if odd, right? So the data type of odd is integer, correct? Now within the if statement, the condition cannot have the data type of integer. It can only have a Boolean data type, right? Either a true or a false. So that is where it is the program will not move forward. It is simply going to throw compilation error at the second line itself, right? So if you know this particular small concept that in an if condition, you can only have an expression, okay? You can only have an expression which will return a Boolean type, a true or a false, and it cannot return any other type, be it an integer or a double or string, whatever. If you know this particular small concept, just reading the first two lines, you will be able to solve this particular question, right? You don't need to actually go and read the entire part. Just you may, if you know the small concept that I showed in the tip, you just need to spend, I think, 10 seconds to figure out that the answer is A, compilation phase. So now you see that these concepts are very, very small, but then they can help you big time when it comes to solving the AMCAT questions. And that is what actually the AMCAT organizers are looking for. That is what the companies are looking for in you, that you are able to use the concepts in a very, very quick and precise manner, right? So as we saw over here, it was a very small concept, and just within 10 seconds, we are able to answer this particular question, and we can save a lot of time over here, and we can get that one positive mark in AMCAT. So I really hope you learned something over here. And now we are going to quickly move to our next question, question number 16. So just have a look at this particular question and try to guess the answer. So question 16 here. This one seems a bit tough because there is no compilation error. So there is no error over here. So you'll have to read the code again. You'll have to become a computer, start thinking like a computer, and start compiling the code in your mind and come up with the answer. So that's the trick over here. There's a trick that you need to learn to solve few questions. So guys, do I have some answer for question number 16, or is it too tough for everyone? The question is indeed very challenging. You have to think like a computer here. So Chaitanya has put some comment. So Chaitanya, I won't be able to answer your question in the comment right now, but I'm going to give an answer later on. Okay, once the class is over. Currently, just have a look at the question number 16 that is in front of you. So I have one answer from Ajay. Ajay has processed an answer. So Ajay is the fastest computer, I suppose. So I really hope all you other guys are thinking like a computer, becoming a computer, and trying to figure out the answer here. Ajay is the fastest one. Okay, so for 16th, till now I have only one answer. So there's the next answer from Jitendra, which is A, option A. So Jitendra, I'm hoping really that you are answering for question number 16. So you have not written over there in the comment which question you are answering. So I'm really hoping it's for 16th. Okay, so Jitendra has now written. Cool, thanks Jitendra. Jagpati says B. Okay. Okay, so quite a few of you are processing this. Good, I'm happy to see that. Chaitanya says 16th is C. Okay, so another one. Another answer I got. Good. Aniruddha says C. Okay. So let me just give the tip for this particular question. Okay. Just have a look at this tip, which explains about the two keywords that we are using over here, break and continue. So now that I have displayed the tip, I'm going to display the question again so that you can use the learning from the tip and relook this particular question and try to answer it again. So I have got quite a few number of answers before the tip. Now let's see if I get some more answers. Okay, so I have one more answer from Chaitali. Okay, so guys, I'm going to quickly show the answer of this particular question. And the answer is C. Okay, now let me explain quickly how the answer is C. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the how you can think like a computer over here. So here the value of x is initialized as 2 and y is 0. So y value we are simply using in loop. Okay, so now here let's come in the first iteration y percentile x, which basically means 0 percentile 2 is equals to 0, right? So basically this particular condition is actually true. So there it is going to go inside this thing, inside this if condition, and it is say continue. Now what happens with continue? So continue keyword is actually going to skip all the next statements within this for loop. Okay, so that's how the continue works. Okay, the way continue works is that once you reach continue, it is going to skip all the other statements in that particular loop and do the next iteration. Okay, it will do the next iteration. And how does break work? Let's see how does break work. When you have break, the entire loop itself is terminated. So the flow of the program will actually go out of the loop. Okay. So you use continue when you want to skip the execution only for that one particular iteration and go ahead with the second iteration for the for loop. Okay. That is when you use continue. But you use break to totally get out of the loop. So you just want to halt the execution of the loop then and there and get out of the loop at that particular point in time. That is where the break is used. So again, how this will work is, since this condition is true, when y is equals to 0, this condition is true, it goes to continue, it will skip all of them, then it goes again, then y now becomes 1, correct? Y now becomes 1. Now when y is 1, this condition is false, because 1 percentile 2 is equals to 1 and not equals to 0, right? So this particular condition is false, hence it is going to go to else if. Now y is 1 and this condition is again false, hence it is going to go to else. In else it is saying print value of y, correct? So in the first time it is going to print value as 1, right? So it is going to print 1. So we have one of the values as 1 over here. Now again the loop will go up. Now value of y will become 2. Okay, now the value of y has become 2. Now 2 modulus 2 is actually equals to 0. So this condition is true. It will go inside the loop. It says continue. So it is going to skip everything and then again go back. Now y is going to become 3, right? So let me just write this again. Now y has become 3, right? Now once y has become 3, this particular condition is false, correct? It goes to else if. Again y is equals to 8. This condition is also false. So it is going to go to else, and then in else it is going to print y. So next number that it is going to print is 3. So this is the way it is going to check again and again, and it is going to print 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay. So I really hope that the concept for this particular question was clear. Okay. Main thing that you have to learn and how exactly break is going to work and how the flow of the program is going to change based on continue and break. Okay, so this is how this particular program will run, and the answer for this particular question is C. So I really hope that the concept over here is clear, and I'm going to now quickly move to our last question of this class of the day. Question number 17. Okay. So here's the question number 17. It's about the switch programming construct. Okay. Have a look at the question number 17 and try to give the answer. Just say the question number and give the option. So Prithvish Banerjee says C. So Prithvish, I really hope that you are answering for question number 16 or 17. 16 we are already done. We are at question number 17 now. So Prithvish, okay, Chaitali is also saying for question number 16, but we are at question number 17, guys. So Pramod has given the first answer for 17. That's A. Jagpati says A. Anand says A. Prithvish says 17 as D. Compile type error. Okay, Jagpati is even giving the answer. Break is not used there. Okay. Jagpati, just keep the answer with yourself. Chaitanya is also giving the answer. Yeah, you both are correct. So both Chaitanya and Jagpati have given the answer that there is no break over there. So answer is option A. You are both correct. So, but I really request that you do not give the reason. Just give the option so that the mystery and the surprise is not spoiled for the other guys. who are on the class, right? Just give the answer, option number. But well done, you processed it correct. So now I'm going to show the tip related to this particular question. The tip is pretty simple. The tip says that when you're using a switch case construct, you have to use break in each case to terminate the switch. So this is the tip. Now I'm going to display the question again to you guys. So what you have learned from the tip, just try to use it and have a relook at this particular question and try to come up with the answer. A few of them have already answered correctly, but some of you who have not, just have a look. So for 17th, Andres says D, Vijay Kumar says A. Okay, so now let me just give the answer to this particular question. So the answer is A, 1, 2, 3. And the reason is pretty simple, that in switch, after each case, right, after each case, you have to put a break statement. When you put the break statement, okay, within this particular case, after this first line, if the second line is break statement, so after processing the first line, break will actually jump the flow outside the switch. Okay, now since break is not over here currently present, right? Break we have not written. So what will happen is that case 1 will be processed, and then case 2 will also be processed, and then case 3 will also be processed. Right? Since all the cases are going to be processed, now over here in switch case, if you're not putting break, this is not a compilation error. This is not an error. This is just a simple, plain, silly mistake that a programmer might do. But this is not a compilation error. The Java compiler will not throw an error when it comes to this particular case. Okay, so it is not going to throw the error, but it is actually what it is going to do is it is going to process all the cases, and that you don't want. With switch case, you only want one of the cases to be processed. Okay, depending on the condition, right? So since break is not there, again, break is not there, so it is going to process all the 3 cases, hence the output is going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I really hope you learn the concept of switch case over here, and this was our last question. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. This was all I really had for this particular session. Okay, guys, so we saw some questions based on different topics in this particular session, and I really hope that you have learned something good over here, and you have learned something useful, and you will be able to apply it in your preparation for AMCAT. And if you have any particular question or doubt remaining regarding these particular questions that we have solved, you just put it in the comment, and I'm going to go through the comment once I get the time, and I'm going to answer to you in the comments whatever your questions are. So that's the one thing I wanted to say. The second thing is that I would request you all to ask more and more friends of yours to join the free live class that we have for AMCAT. It is a very useful class for students like you who are preparing for AMCAT and then who are actually going to face interviews in the IT jobs, right? So it will be pretty helpful for you. And also in the comments, if you have some special topic that you really want to cover, right? So just put it in the comments, and then we will try to come up with the videos for those particular topics, and we are going to send it to you. So that is also one request that I have. If you have any special request, if you have any special topic that to be covered, okay, so you can actually just request it in the comments, and we can actually go ahead and look. So if you have seen the questions, if once I show the tips to you, right, the tips are nothing but the concepts, the Java OOP concepts. Once I show the tips to you, a lot of you were able to answer the questions from what you have learned from the tips. So we also have a paid program for AMCAT where we actually use a very different approach, where we actually first expose you to the concept. We have a lot of content, where we actually teach about the concept and then we deal with the questions. So we have a paid program for AMCAT that you can enroll in. So if you really like this particular session, you can actually enroll in that particular program also to get the maximum benefit and to prepare very well for the AMCAT. You will also actually face some mock AMCATs from the Talent Sprint. So Talent Sprints on every weekend is going to conduct some mock tests which are based on AMCAT pattern, and that is how that is a very good way for you to prepare. You can actually enroll in our paid program and you can prepare very well for AMCAT. And that preparation for AMCAT, if you score good in AMCAT, that will open up the way for you in the IT jobs. You can get a lot of interview calls for the IT jobs if you score very well for AMCAT. So with this, I wanted to end this particular session for today. I really hope you have learned good some good concepts, and you have learned how those concepts are applied for solving AMCAT questions. And I'll see you next time pretty soon. And till then, happy learning and happy preparing for your AMCAT exams. Thank you.